So welcome. If you're just arriving, we're laying down on the back in a comfortable position. And when you're ready, closing your eyes and take a body scan and check in with how you feel today. And we leave everything else outside the space of the moment and arrive in your body, in your practice today. Good. And take a few circles with your lower jaw, circulate your lower jaw a few times. Rotate it in the other direction. And as you rotate the jaw, you let go of any clenching of the teeth. You relax your brow line, your eyes, and the expression of the face softening. And you start to notice the flow of your breath. Noticing the flow of your breath in its natural rhythm. And anytime your mind wants to wander off, you come back to the breath continuously as a way to return to center. And we're going to rest the hands on your body anywhere that feels good today. Place the hands on your torso, the ribs, or the belly, or anywhere where the hands want to rest. And offering that warm, supportive energy toward yourself. Begin to deepen your inhale. As you breathe through the nose, you welcome that smooth inhale. And then you exhale, slowly empty out. Inviting the inhale, filling the belly, the ribs, the chest. And exhaling chest, ribs, and belly. Just work with that a few times. Inviting compassion for wherever you're at in this practice today, and always you can back off if you need to at any point. Good. And on your next inhale, let's reach the arms overhead and take a stretch. You can stretch your legs out straight. Just take that full body lengthening, head to toe. Open and close your hands. Point and flex your feet a few times. Good. And then hug both knees in toward your chest. Give yourself a little hug, a little squeeze. You can rock side to side, massage your back on the ground. Trace the shape of the triangular sacrum, that triangular space at the base of the spine. With your mind's eye, how does your back feel today? And we're gonna make your way into a full happy baby, elbows on insides of knees, hands around the ankles or the feet. And the shoulder blades continue to relax and drop toward the floor. Good. And then we're gonna release the feet and hug the knees in towards you again. And we're gonna cross the right ankle on top of the left thigh. Right ankle on top of left thigh. Thread the needle, slipping your right hand in between that space of the legs. Hands are in the left knee crease or in the front of your shin for figure four pose. And we're gonna flex the feet, starting to activate a little more in the knees, the hips. The chin can drop down just a little bit so the front of the throat softens down and back. Yeah. And you feel a little more length through the back of your neck. Gentle rocking side to side can help loosen up a little bit in that right side hip crease and outer butt area. And then you're going to squeeze the legs in a little bit, uncross, cross the opposite ankle on top, left ankle on top of right thigh. Thread the needle. And pausing there, letting your mind linger on the area that feels the most sensation. Always coming back to that ease of the breath, the smooth breath. Good. And then we're gonna hug the legs in, squeeze the legs in, uncross, bring your feet onto the floor. Feet are on the floor about hip width. Lay your arms alongside the body, palms facing up. So the arms are gonna come down alongside the body, fingertips reaching toward your heels. Yep, fingertips reaching down toward the heels. Yeah, and then reach, press through your feet, lift up the hips and pelvis toward a bridge position, any amount that's comfortable. Tailbone lengthens forward between the knees. And then we're gonna raise the heels high onto tiptoes, keep engaging the gluteal muscles, and inhale the arms all the way up alongside the ears. Keeping the arms overhead, slowly start to lower down very, very slowly, like the string of pearls of each vertebra, slowly connecting all the way down until the very tip of the tailbone relaxes last. And we're gonna take the arms into a cactus shape, start to windshield wiper the knees side to side, massaging out through your lower back. And when the knees go all the way over to the right, roll onto your right hand side, all the way over to the right hand side, and rest for a moment there in the fetal position. And it's a nice moment to relax your brain, set your intention for practice today. What's your reason, your why for practicing? And let that intention help inspire the effort and the energy that you put into this practice today. And when you're ready, use your hands to slowly press on up. We're gonna meet up together in a comfortable Sukhasana. You're finding a comfortable cross-legged seat. Lifting up just a little bit through the back of the skull, and we lean back. So there's a nice line from the back of the head down through the tail. The nose is over your belly button, and the hands are gonna come to heart center, thumbs connecting to the center of the chest, palms connecting together in front of the heart center. And we're gonna honor each other, this practice, and all of our intentions by connecting with a singular Om on the exhale. Om. So we're gonna start to turn the fingertips to face away from your sternum and then extend the arms out straight. And you're gonna feel the shoulder blades continue to drop down. And we're gonna start to turn from the lowest vertebrae to the right. Keep pressing the palms and then back to center. And just see what range of motion is there. Pressing the palms, you turn to the left. Good. Using your core a little bit and back to center. And then slowly from that lowest vertebrae, it chains all the way up through the back of the skull. And you may feel that right arm drawing into the body a little more. And then back to center, keep pressing over the left. And back to center. We're gonna do one more time each side. So the core is being involved, the whole spine is being involved, and the biceps are strong as you press the palms together. Good, and then coming back to center, extend up through the fingertips, keeping the palms pressing. And we're keep pressing, we're gonna inhale, look up at the thumbs, and then exhale, squeeze the knees in, keep pressing through the palms, uncross, flex the feet, and balance in this Ardha Navasana. The fingertips are straight ahead from the sternum. You may even rest your forearms lightly on top of the knees. And then you lift the knees up into those forearms. And we're gonna inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, cross the opposite ankle on top. Reach the arms overhead. Take a big inhale, reaching up. Exhale, take your right hand down, left arm up and over. And we're gonna move in and out of this. So inhale, we're gonna reach up. And exhale, we're gonna go to the left. Good, inhale, reaching up. Exhale to the right. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, other side. One more time each side. Inhale and exhale. So waking up through the sidelines of the body. Inhale and exhale. Good, and then inhale, reaching up. Exhale, lean forward, come into tabletop. We're gonna go ahead and make our way right up into a downward facing dog. And you can bend your knees, you can pedal your feet. You start to lengthen up through the lower back spine. Let the head dangle down. We always know that if downward dog gets too intense, that you can come into tabletop or child's pose at any point. Spread your fingers. Feel the pads of fingers gripping. Good. Nice. Shake the head a little bit, yes. And then we're gonna lift the heels and drift forward into a plank pose. Bring your knees down, take your feet flat, and when you exhale, come to child's pose. Chin toward chest. And then you're pressing through the tops of the feet. Inhale your way forward toward modified plank, broad collarbones. Hug your elbows in, come all the way down onto your belly. Inhale, cobra pose. Tops of the feet press. Lower your heart, tuck your toes, press on back toward downward facing dog. You can always take that child's pose detour. We're gonna flow through this a couple times, just waking up, moving with the breath. Inhale, come to plank. Knees down, exhale back to child's pose. And then inhale forward, exhale down to the belly. Feet are flat, cobra pose, drag your palms. Lower your chest, tuck your toes, make your way to downward facing dog, gather the ribs, lengthen up through the sitting bones. Breathing there. Good, and we'll do one more. Inhale, come forward to plank. Knees come down. Exhale back to child's pose, press the ground away. Inhale toward modified plank. Exhale all the way to the belly. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, downward dog. Finding downward facing dog. Good. And we're gonna pedal the feet again. Wake up the backs of the legs. First finger and thumb pressing. And then lift the heels high, come onto tiptoes, deeply bend your knees and walk all the way forward, all the way in between your hands. When you get there, fold forward and let your head go. Hands can either be on the ground or your blocks. Hands could wrap behind your calves if that feels good. Let the back of the head spill down. And then we're gonna walk your hands over to the right. You can turn your right toes out a couple degrees and drag that right hip crease back a little bit. And you're breathing there along that left side from the pinky all the way up to the hip and lower back. Good. And then slowly walk your hands back to center and then re-parallel the feet. And then turn your left toes out a little bit, walk your hands over to the left as much as you feel you can. Feel that space from the right pinky all the way back through the hip. You're breathing there, right side body, right outer hip. And then back to center, let your head go. Bend your knees, push through the feet, drop the tail, and inhale the arms all the way out, end up overhead, reaching up, reaching up. Exhale, bring the hands down through heart center. Good, now flip your fingertips to face away from your sternum and extend your arms straight out, just like we did when we were sitting. So the arms are extending straight out from your heart. And you give a press and you drop the arms into the body. And then knees are soft. Now, initiating from your feet, you start to press your feet and you start to turn from the hip points and then up the lower back. And you see how, keeping your arms very straight, what range of motion can you go over to the right? And the head turns last. And you keep pressing the palms. And then you're going to come back to center. Keep pressing the palms. Go to the left. Good. And then back to center. We're going to go to the right. Keep pressing. See what range of motion you can go. And back to center. And to the left. So the arms start to fire up a little bit. And then back to center. Take the arms up. Keep pressing the palms, lift your heels, come onto tiptoes. Contain the ribs in. The nose is right over the belly button. So we're gonna inhale. As you exhale, lower the heels and then open to a swan dive. Release your hands down to the floor or blocks. And then inhale, lift up halfway, look forward. Exhale, step your left foot back into a runner's lunge. Right knee is over the heel. Right knee directly over the ankle joint. You're going to touch your left knee down, take the top of your left foot flat. Hands can come to the right thigh. Or we're going to reach forward again, press the palms. Open your elbows out a little bit. So you feel, again, those biceps. And then open your elbows and start to bring the base of your wrist right toward your sternum. So you get a little stretch through the wrist. And then fingertips up, reach your arms up. Keep pressing the palms. And we create any amount of back bend on the inhale, looking up. Exhale, belly in, hands frame the front foot. And you can drop your nose toward your right knee and keep dropping that right sitting bone down toward the ground. Good. Then scissor that left inner thigh up and in toward the body, and you start to send your hips back, curl your right toes toward your face. And let's go forward and back a couple times. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, hands could always be on blocks if that makes it a little more accessible. And exhale back, good. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, now pausing here, take your left hand forward, take your right hand around onto your sacrum, and swipe that back of that right hand over toward the left hip, and you can look to the right and drag the right shoulder away from the ear. Good. And we're going to inhale, right belly. Exhale, release that right hand down and lift the belly. Slide your right leg back into child's pose. Hips to heels, forehead toward the floor. Good. We're exhaling out into that child's pose for a moment. And then looking between the hands, you're going to snake forward, come all the way down onto your belly. Feet are flat. Reach your arms straight back. Keep pressing through the tops of the feet and lift up. And if you can, just touch your fingers. Touch your fingers and lift. Feel the triceps, the outer arms firing up a little bit. We're going to inhale, lift the feet. Spread the toes. Exhale, release. Take your palms under your elbows. Toes curl underneath. You can make a detour through child's pose on your way to downward dog or press right up, however you get there. And we find that downward dog for a breath or two. Smooth inhale and full exhale. Good. And then we're going to raise the heels high, come onto tiptoes, bend your knees quite a bit, walk forward all the way between the hands. Inhale, halfway lift, look forward. Exhale, fold, let your head hang. And then press through the feet. Inhale, reach the arms out and up overhead. Give the palms a press. Keep pressing the palms. Lift the heels, come onto tiptoes. So you raise your heels, you come right up onto tiptoes. Keep knitting the ribs in. Inhale. As you exhale, lower your heels. Slowly swan dive down. Taking hands all the way down to the floor or to blocks. And then inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, step the right foot back. So the left knee is right over the heel. It can be on the floor or blocks. Take the top of your right foot flat. And you can walk your hands up onto your left thigh. When you're ready, reach your arms straight out from your chest, palms press. Yeah. Plug the arms into the body. And then you open your elbows and you start to bring the base of the wrist toward your sternum. You're trying to get a little bit of a stretch in the wrist. Yeah. And you can even point the fingers a little down if you want to intensify it. Good. And then forward and straight up. Inhale, a little more arch through the upper back, and then exhale, belly in, release your hands to frame the front foot. And then you're going to start to send the hips back toward that right heel, and you can curl your left toes toward your body, and then glide forward. Inhale, and exhale, you press back. Just see what range of motion feels good for you. Inhale, sliding forward, soft shoulders. Exhale, gathering the belly and pressing back. And then coming forward, left knee is over the heel. Take your right hand a little forward and swing your left hand around onto your sacrum. You can swipe that hand toward the outer right hip and just turn and look left. Drag the left shoulder away from the ear for that twist. Breathing. And we're going to inhale into the left side. And we're going to exhale, release the left hand down. And then lift your belly, send your left foot back into child's pose. Big toes touch, knees are very wide. Let your belly melt. Good, and we're going to come up onto tented fingers. So get a little active, lift the center of the palms, and then lift your belly and start to walk your hands to the right. Walk your hands all the way onto the bare floor to the right. Drop your gaze under your right underarm. Let the left rib wrap around toward the belly. Good. You're breathing there. Good. And then lifting your belly, come back to center. Walk your hands all the way to the left. Bringing out through that left side. And breathing along the right side rib. Good, and then coming back to center, come forward toward modified plank, spread your chest, let your hips drop a little bit. Toes are tucked, you can look up. And then hips toward heels, lift your knees, coming up to downward dog in your own time, and letting your head hang. And you can step your feet a little closer together, and we're gonna swing your right heel high toward three-legged dog. And you can bend your right knee, and you can trace some soft circles with the right knee in the air. Might be bigger circles or smaller, depending on how you feel. Left underarm is lifting. And we're gonna inhale, lift the right knee. Exhale, it's knee to nose. Tented fingers sometimes helps to hoist that right foot in between the hands. Right knee is over the heel. And then you're gonna lift the chest, look forward, and then straighten the front leg. Spin the back heel down. Start to fold over that front leg. And just let yourself fold. Let the left rib wrap around toward the midline, Parsvakonasana. The right hip crease moving straight back. Good, and then you're gonna bend your right knee. Both feet are gonna anchor. We're gonna make our way up to warrior two. When your feet are stable, you reach your left arm forward and cartwheel the arms up, and you're gonna gaze over the right fingertips for warrior two. Good. Nice. Spreading through the toes, feeling a lift of the side ribs. Now straighten the front leg on the inhale. Exhale, bend that right knee. And then straighten the front leg, reach the arms up. Inhale, exhale, bend down, warrior two. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bend down. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, bend down. Now turn your thumbs up. Take your left hand and swing it forward to press the palms together. Good. Just hold nice and strong there. Keep pressing the palms. Open your elbows a little bit. Good. So you feel, again, these biceps muscles turn on. And then, so we're still in kind of the warrior two position. We're gonna cartwheel that left arm open, look toward the left finger, and then come to reverse warrior, looking back and down toward your left foot, with the right arm reaching up and over. And keep dropping that right thigh in space. Yes. And we're gonna inhale, and then exhale, slowly cartwheel. You look down at your right foot, release your hands to frame your front foot, swing the back heel over the toes. You're gonna lift your hips up and step that right foot into plank pose. You can either bring your knees down to modify or slowly lower down, chaturanga, coming all the way onto the belly. Take your feet flat, cobra pose on the inhale. And then lower your heart, tuck your toes, find your way back again toward downward dog. You can always take a break in child if you need to. Find your breath. And you step the feet a little closer. And we'll lift that left heel up. And you can bend the knee and start to, with the center of your kneecap, you start to trace a circle. And you feel the head of that femur move around in the hip a little bit. And just nice tone of the belly. And as you inhale, you're gonna lift the left knee a little, and exhale, knee to nose, lift your hips, step your left foot in between your hands. So we're gonna come to that runner's lunge. Good. Now lift your chest, look forward, lift the back of the head, and then straighten that front leg and fold, and let your forehead melt down toward the left leg. You can always use a blocks under your hands, just gives you a little bit more spaciousness, just makes you feel a little supported. Good. And then you start to slowly fold. Bring that right heel down toward the ground as much as you can. Good. Great. Now you're going to bend the left knee. We're going to prepare for warrior two. So it's about heel to heel alignment. Back foot's about a 45-degree angle. You come on up, warrior two, gazing over the left fingertips. Good. Yes. Breathing, breathing. And straighten the front leg, inhale. Exhale, bend down, drop the tail. Inhale, straighten, lift up. Exhale, bend, warrior two. Inhale, straighten, lift up, reach your arms up. Exhale, warrior two. The whole time you keep your foot in that same straight ahead trajectory. Inhale, straighten up, lift up. Exhale, good. One more, inhale, lift up. Exhale, warrior two. Good, we're gonna pause. We're gonna turn the thumbs up. And you're gonna take your right hand, bring your right hand across the body, touch it to your left hand, give a press. Feel the arms drop into your body. The elbows are soft. Good. Feel these bicep muscles. Right foot's pressing. And then you're gonna take the arms up alongside the ears. And then you're gonna open the arms out again and look toward your right hand. And then come into reverse warrior, right hand to right thigh, left arm reaches up, and you look toward your right heel. Good. Yeah. We're gonna inhale there, and then exhale, slowly cartwheel. Look down at your left foot, release your hands to frame your front foot. Hands are on the floor or blocks. Swing the back heel over the toes. And you're gonna make your way to plank pose or tabletop pose if plank pose is not accessible. Yep, and either modify the knees or lower down, chaturanga. And we're gonna take cobra pose on the inhale, and then we're gonna lower down, come down to rest your forehead on the floor. Rest your forehead on the floor and then wag your elbows, in and out, in and out. And then float your arms straight back, fingers stretch back toward the back wall. Root through the pelvis, inhale, lift on up, option one. Or if you feel a little more warmed up and you want to reach for the outside of the feet, you could come into Dhanurasana, but that's not available. Just take that locust. Yeah, good, and you're breathing. There's that smooth quality to the breath. And the exhale empties out all the way. Good, and then without slingshotting anything back, release down, take your forehead to the floor. And then take your palms under the elbows, press up into tabletop position. From tabletop position, we're gonna round the spine, look toward the tail. Good. And then come back to a neutral spine, tuck your toes, bring your hips toward your heels, bring your knees and toes all the way together. So get kind of tight in here, knees and toes touching. And then you're gonna walk your hands towards your knees and sit on your heels coming toward thunderbolt pose. If you can keep your toes tucked under, that's great. If that's really excruciating, you can always take the feet flat or even stand up on your knees. Good. Yes, looks good, Phil. Yep, looks good. And then reach your arms out straight, palms press. Just doing this a lot, this action today, just to feel this strength of your arms. And the arms secure in the shoulder sockets. So we're taking that version of thunderbolt pose. And then you're gonna open the elbows and bring the base of the wrist toward your sternum. You can turn your fingertips down a little bit. See how that feels, just stretch out that part of the wrist. And then prayer position, and then arms right up. Interlace, palms up toward the sky. Just look straight ahead or slightly up. Just get a sense of crown of head over base of spine. Nice upright spine. Good. And then we're gonna lift up to stand on the knees. Inhale, pressing up. Exhale, take your right arm down. And your right hand can come to the hamstring or it can swipe around to your left hip. You're gonna look over to the right. You're breathing there. Inhale, all along the left side. And then exhale, switch. Left hand can be on the hamstring or swiping around toward the right. Right arm coming up and over. Good. Nice. And then on the inhale, reach up, give the palms a press. And then exhale, we're gonna release down. Now we're gonna sit toward the heels. Now we're gonna come toward rabbit pose. So what this looks like is you can come down to open your elbows a little bit and bring your hairline to the ground. Now you can stay there, or if it feels okay, you can start to roll right onto the crown of the head. And you feel the crown of the head plug into the floor and your hips are about over your knees. And just see how that feels. You can have your hands there to stabilize you, or the challenge would be to release to balance on the crown, interlace your hands and peel your arms away from the back. That's more challenging. If your neck is feeling compromised in any way, just stay with your hands on the ground. Yeah. And you're really gonna know when you have it because the crown of your head feels like it plugs into the ground like a plug in a light socket. Right, so usually you have to roll forward a little bit more to get that sense of plugging into that crown. So we'll do one inhale wherever you're at. If you have the interlace, you may want to bring your hands down onto your lower back first, and then release your feet flat and just gradually roll toward embryo pose. Arms laying alongside the pinky toe sides of your feet. Arms are going to go heavy, and you may inch your forehead forward just a bit so it drags a little bit into the ground. Yeah. Good. And you breathe there. Great. Okay, now we're going to feel the tops of feet pressing. And we're going to start to slowly lift up. Coming up to sit on the heels. Just for a moment, we're going to scooch over and swing the legs around. Swing the legs around out straight. Bring that right heel in really close to the sitting bone. And you're going to drag your right sitting bone back and take your right hand around back behind you. Your left arm hugs around the outside of the right thigh and you look over your right shoulder for Chasana. You flex your left foot. Good. Great, so we're gonna inhale there and exhale, come back to center and take your right arm on the inside of the knee. And you can reach forward a little more. So you're trying to get that knee really high toward the outer shoulder. And you reach toward your foot. Good, yep. Good, now you can stay there, or a challenge is you keep reaching that right arm forward quite a bit. You rotate thumb down. You start to wrap and take the back of the hand around toward your butt. Good. And then you can take your left hand around and reach around, see about bind. Now, if that is not available, you just keep your left hand on your back or even the floor. Then you look down toward your left shoulder a little bit. Good. We're going to inhale there and then exhale, come back to center. Take your hands in front of that right shin, lift up the foot. Lift up your shin into your hands and drag your hands into your shin at the same time. So there, you create a little strength in the knee. It might shake a little. And then you're going to lean forward, release your heel, and extend your right leg out. Take your heels a little wider and just go forward toward any amount of forward fold. Your hands slide toward your feet. Your chin drops toward the chest. And you come toward that Paschimottanasana for a breath or two. Chin moving toward your body. And when you exhale, you can let that little bit of exhale out your throat like a ha sound. Or a swallow, just relaxing the throat a little bit. Good. And then dropping the tail slowly, we're going to come up and we're going to bring that left heel close toward the sitting bone. And then you drag the left sitting bone back, wrap your right arm around, take your left hand back behind and find that seated spinal twist. Good. Breathing into the belly on the inhale and the exhale, rooting the tail toward the earth. Good. And then we're going to unwind back to center and take our left arm on the inside. And again, option one, the hand can just come to the ground, or you're going to reach toward the foot, or you're going to reach that left arm forward as much as you can, rotate thumb down, and then you got to really internally rotate that upper arm bone and swing the back of the hand around toward the kind of fleshy part of your outer left hip. And then you swing your right arm around And maybe the hands are going to clasp. Shoulders drop, look toward your right shoulder. Very good. Good. And you feel that space of the breath moving into anywhere that feels crunched. And the exhale grounds the tail toward the earth, and you may feel a little more length up through the back of your head. Good. Good. And then let's come around back to center. Take your hands in front of the left shin, then start to lift your shin up into your hands, but try to like stop that from happening with your own strength. And just firing up that joint in the hip, stabilizing it, and we're also firing up the arm muscles. And then you're going to lean forward, let that left heel come out, take the heels a little wider, and relax your feet a little bit, and just come forward. Any amount, hands on the ankles or feet. Paschimottanasana. Good. Finding that breath all along the back body, back of skull, all the way to the back of the heels. Good. And then dropping the tail, let's sit up. We're gonna lift the knees, cross the ankles, roll forward, come into tabletop, and make your way back into downward facing dog. One more time, or child's pose if down dog is too much. Inhale deep into the belly. Exhale, let it out. Good. Lift your heels high, come onto tiptoes. Walk forward all the way toward the top of your mat, however you get there. Fold in Uttanasana. You can wrap your hands behind your calves, or you can lightly take your hands to the base of the skull, like slide your hands from your neck lightly down toward the base of the occipital ridge, and just be there for a moment with soft shoulders. Good. And then take your hands onto your imaginary back pockets, lower back, give a press, drop the tail, lift the belly, and slowly, 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 we're gonna make our way up. Good, and we're gonna find our Tadasana, mountain pose. Fingertips alongside the body. So we're not like laser tight in mountain pose, and we're not like really lax. You're in the middle, you're finding your tallest pose. You're embodying that feeling of strength of the mountain, the feet in the floor, the chest moving toward the sky. You can close your eyes and tune into any subtle shifts in the body. The back of the head drifting up, the tailbone just softening down. We're going to bring the hands to heart center, bringing the thumbs to the center of the chest. We're connecting here with the vibrational chant of an Om on the exhale. Om. Interlace the hands back behind your head. Open the elbows, just let the head fall back and let your face turn up toward the sun, toward the sky. We're gonna inhale and then exhale, bend your knees quite a bit. Start to slowly fold. You can swing your arms around and either rest your hands on your lower back or interlace and let the arms peel away and let the head melt down. Good. Bending your knees as much as you need to. One more inhale breath, and exhale, hands come all the way down and step your knees back into your tabletop position. And we're gonna walk the knees under the hips and walk the hands forward a little bit in front of the shoulders. You're gonna extend your right leg back. Now send the center of your right heel straight back and down toward your mat. And then as you rock your chest forward, send your right knee forward a little wider than the right wrist, inch your right ankle in front of your left knee. You can start to extend your left leg back as we come toward pigeon pose. Now we're gonna walk the hands to the right, trying to ground a little more through that outer right thigh from the knee to the hip, and then look over your right shoulder. And then coming back to center, come down to your forearms, and then rest your forehead either on your hands or on, even better sometimes, is the edge of a block. Anywhere where you feel you can maintain a connection from crown to tail, let your left hip point roll toward the earth, and the left baby toe also softening. And then we're going to breathe there. Good. A little bit of a flex or action in that right foot can help to shift that sensation more into that outer hip and not in the knee. Good. We're finding the breath. Good. Just pausing, staying with the breath. Where can the exhale release a little bit? Good. Notice any gripping of your jaw and soften that jaw, maybe circulate the jaw. And we're going to start to think about coming out of it, top of the left foot pressing. Gather the belly and slowly come up onto hands and fingertips. Take a little lift of your chest, look up, and then look between the thumbs. We're going to plant the palms, curl the back toes under, and inch your left knee forward. And let's unwind back into tabletop. You can extend your right leg back and rock a little bit. Good. And then let's do the other side. Extend your left leg back, toes tucked. Walk your hands forward a little. And then as you swing the heart forward, slide that left knee a little wider than the wrist. And then gradually you start to inch that right leg out all the way down toward the baby toe. And that left knee is a little bit wider than the hip. And that left sitting bone is wrapping around and down toward the floor. And gradually you're gonna, if you want to, you can walk your hands to the left first. That's kind of sometimes helpful to ground that outer left thigh. And then in your own time, you make your way down again toward this pigeon pose, the forehead resting on something. Floor, block. Where's the breath? Can we visualize the inhale like a light space, a color that expands out into any gripping? And the exhale disperses that tension out into the ether and away, like smoke or mist drifting off the body. Good. And so we're going to start to feel the top of that right foot connecting, and it kind of turns on a little bit through the lower belly as you start to lift up onto the fingers. You can lift your chest, look up. And now we're going to shift over to that outer left thigh, and we're going to swing the right leg around. Good. Take a cross-legged seat. Take your hands onto the tops of your feet. Just kind of feel your feet for a second and lean back. With your hands on the feet, you lean back. So as you lean back, your knees are falling forward. And we're trying to cultivate a little bit of softness in the front of the hips. And then inhale, lean forward, reach up. And then you're gonna squeeze the knees in, uncross, cross the opposite ankle on top. Take your hands in front of the tops of the feet. And then just lean back a little bit. Good. Now, a real challenge would be to keep your hands on the feet and start to come all the way back with your hands on the feet. If you can't do that, just release the feet and come down onto your back however you get there. Don't force. Now uncross and release your feet up toward the sky and shake them out. Shake them out. Yeah. Shake them out, shake them out. Good. Come into full happy baby. Elbows on insides of knees, hands on the feet or ankles. Good. Stabilizing. Happy baby. Good. Very good. Broad lower back. And then let's release the feet and bring the feet down onto the floor. Feet are on the floor, hip width. Press through your left foot, hug your right knee in toward the body, give a little squeeze, and then extend your right foot up toward the sky. And if it feels okay, extend your left leg out straight. And the entire right leg gathers toward the body a little bit. You keep lengthening that right sitting bone away from your face. And soft in the upper back and chest. And you can point and flex through that right foot. How does that feel in the ankle, the knee? Good. And then step your left foot on the ground, cross your right leg over on top, and you can take your arms out to a T and let the knees go over and down to the left for a spinal twist. Now your head can stay neutral, or if it's okay on your neck, you can slide the gaze to look right. Just be there for a couple moments in the breath. Breathing smooth and steady. Very good. Inhaling light, peace. Exhaling, stress. And bring the knees back in, squeeze the knees in, uncross. Now we're gonna hug that left knee in, squeeze the left knee in, and then extend your left foot up toward the sky. And if it's all right, slide the right leg out straight. Keep the shoulder blades melting. And we can let the chin come down a little bit toward the chest just to feel a little length through the back of that cervical spine. Point and flex through the left foot. The whole front central channel is soft from the center of the chin down to the pubic bones. And then lightly bring your right foot back onto the ground and cross your left leg over on top. And you can let the knees go over to the right. Sometimes hands on the ribs or body feels more secure, or arms come all the way out to a T and you can look to the left. Find your breath. Find your breath, find the space of the inhale. Find the full exhale. Good, and then we're gonna bring the knees back into center, uncross. Curl into a little ball, knees to chin, chin to knees. Find a full inhale. And then exhale, extend the legs out. We're gonna find our way to Shavasana. Clothing, socks, blankets, whatever you need to do to feel very comfortable and supported. You can rest. As you come down to rest, you can experiment with lifting your chin a little bit away from the chest, so you open your throat a little. And how does that feel? And then bringing the chin down toward the chest a little, seeing how that feels. And then you find that place in the middle. No longer needing to control the breath or anything about the form. We relax and let go. You surrendering into the flow of all things. Let go of all tension. And we can allow the mind to pass through areas of the body that feels really contented, parts of the body that feel comfortable. How does letting go feel in the joints? Sharing a poem by Hafiz today. Don't look shortchanged. You can return to springtime whenever you want. And your greatest pleasures, don't let their memory ever fade. Let them be as they should, a genuine guide and friend, ever there to take you back again to what made you happy once, or brought you deeper into the heart. Wanting to be other than where you are. Who cursed you like that? Break that spell. Wherever you might wind up after your body is buried, left at the Tower of Silence, floating down the Ganges, anywhere your soul might someday call home, come to your senses. You carry that inside now, so don't look shortchanged. Things can only appear dismal until that one eye opens and the sacred flame makes you squint. You can return to the divine season at a flex of your will's might and be the luminous sphere in the sky, raining on us as it does. Coming back to your breath, coming into your gratitude practice for this morning, this moment. What do you have to be grateful for, content with right now? Just focusing on that for a couple of moments. And your awareness moves like a light, color, space through all the cells and all the joints and all the way out into the fingers and toes. You start to wiggle. And moving any way that feels good. Arms can stretch overhead, taking a reset, hitting that reset button. Take your time to roll over onto the left-hand side. You can gather your knees in, roll to the left, just release down into the floor. Anything that's holding you down, that you want to let go of just for a moment, laying it down through relaxing and remembering your intention. May that intention come with you when you leave the mat. Take your time as you're ready to use your hands to slowly press on up. We're going to meet together again in a comfortable seat. You can cross the non-habitual ankle on top. Just find that upright spine, nice tall, strong spine, soft heart. Shake the hands off. Shake the hands up overhead, and then bring the hands down through heart center and feel the thumbs connect to the center of the chest. We're going to honor each other this practice and connect with the universal chant of a single Om on the exhale. Om. Wishing you a lot of joy and health, peace, strength. Namaste. Thank you very much for practicing. It's so great to have a room full of people. More good news is that Patrice is coming back in person for the first time in 2 years, starting next Monday for her gentle flow class at noon on Monday. So you would love Patrice, yeah. Patrice is great. Love her. And Christina is doing a 4:30 class now on Tuesday nights in person and virtual. So hope to see everyone virtually or in person. I'm here. I'll be here tomorrow and Saturday. I love you guys, and I look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you for you. Hope to see you soon, Richard. I miss you in class.
I miss you
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you.
A wonderful
See you
class
soon.
today.
Bye, guys. Bye,
Thank you.
Marianne.
Bye.
Bye.
That's what I need.